Hey, what's up? We're Gianni and Kyle, and we're hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live. Bang! Bang!
I just found out about you guys like within the last 3 weeks. I was hanging out with Hoodie Allen, and I was like, "Yo, tell me about that 60 track that you got, 60 seconds that you got on that new album." And like, "Yo, it's these new dudes. Like, you should check them out." Checked them out, fell in love. Like 2 days later, your publicist hits me up on Instagram. It's like, "Yo, what do you think of these guys?" I was like, "I was just talking about them." So it's just like it all worked out, and we were actually across the street with Hoodie. So it's crazy that we're kind of in the same kind of realm right now.
Yeah.
But what's up, guys? How's it going?
Dude, so good. So good. Thank you for having us, by the way. And well, actually coming to our studio in the first place.
love this.
Yeah. But thank you for having us. Also, thanks, Hoodie Allen, for the plug. Now we had the connection. We can figure it out. Yeah.
So while we're on that topic, like, what was that collaboration like with Hoodie? I know you guys went on tour, and that was like your first tour last year with Hoodie, and then you guys, did this track with him for his new album, Whatever USA. So, talk to me about that collaboration and what was that like? What was that like with you guys in the studio?
I think it was really easy.
Yeah.
Just because on tour we became like best friends.
Yeah.
So sometimes we get in sessions with like strangers and it's kind of like hard to catch the right vibe with people. I hate that I just said that too. But like with him, it's just like we could just be ourselves, just really open.
Yeah.
I thought it was easy, right?
Oh, yeah. We had the track for a few months, actually, and it was like one session and it was done. So, yeah. It was actually not till like very recently, though. It was a newer song that he's done. We did that song back, I want to say, in April. And we were touring together all throughout the last year and stuff. So we finally got time to we actually had another session before the session we actually had for 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And we had another song. We're like, this isn't that good. Let's try it again. And we ended up making 60 seconds, which was for the best. So yeah, we're glad it made the album too.
That's sick. Now, is this something that kind of kicked off like while you guys were on tour together? Like, is that where the idea kind of sparked, or is just like literally like recently?
The idea of that we had to like make a song together for his album.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's where it sparked. But
Yeah, the idea didn't come like. Yeah, well, I think we just came up with the idea in the studio. Yeah, but like, the idea, we were always like talking back and forth, like, yeah, we just gotta get in the studio after tour, blah, 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 and then, finally ended up happening after we did the European run back in March. He came out in April, and we did the record. It was great. Yeah.
That's sick. You guys are about to drop your EP on the 4th of September, the Say It Back EP. Like, talk to me about this EP and like. This is not your first EP, so you guys have been in the game for some time now. So, what's different this time around as you guys went into the studio to create it?
I think this is the most important body of work we've done so far. Okay. I think it's the best music that we've done, right? Yes. I think going into it, when we did our last project, She's No Angel, it was more of we were sad, and it was all about like breakup songs and like things like that. And I think with this, it's more of a level up, not only sonically, but the writing, just like the whole feel of our music, I think has elevated. And I think, that we just created this new sound that is very easy on the ear and very enjoyable for everyone. So I'm excited to share it for the world. Yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Now, how did you guys kind of challenge yourselves this time around on this EP?
Oh my God, that's a really good question. How do we challenge ourselves? I think we really, before we just kind of would just go off the cuffs in the studio. Like the first thing that we think of is like, all right, let's make it a song, whatever. And then with this one, it was like we really came up with the melody, and then we would go back and be like, all right, what do we really want to say? Like, what is the words? Like, we didn't want to use filler words and stuff. I think just attention to detail.
Right. And I think again, sonically, I think with coming up with melody and just thinking of the best sounds to to catch the listener's attention and stuff, I think, is definitely a level up from this last project as well.
Right.
So I think it's very enjoyable for everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
I know in the past, like, you were insecure about your singing, and then you guys were just insecure about performing in general, like anxiety, for example. So, like, how did you guys kind of overcome that? And, now that more eyes and more ears are on you guys, like, how are you guys overcoming that?
I think this last tour with the tour we did with Hoodie Allen, it put us into perspective of, wow, this is actually our job now. Yeah. And I think it was just pure adrenaline. That's like, we're just like, all right, let's like just break through that wall and just run on stage and just stare at the people in front of us, and we just black out from adrenaline and just go for it. I think just the energy and the reciprocation from the crowd really helps us just like jump up and down.
That's the biggest thing. Yeah. That's definitely the biggest thing, because the crowd gives us energy, definitely.
But with anxiety too, like I feel like that's one of the hardest things to like tackle. I know a lot of friends some of these like artists today, like Sasha Sloan being one of them, like she's like always talking like how she gets anxiety before, even an interview and stuff like that, but she like kills it with her lyrics, kills it with her performance. So do you guys kind of like battle that as well still?
definitely. Like I remember high school. I mean, we even met in this class, tech ed. I remember I had to do a project and present in front of the class, and I remember like almost passing out and just like being like, oh my god. I still feel like really scared.
Yeah.
But then I just kind of think I'm like, oh, well, like people support us. It's not like I have like 0 plays and I'm trying to go out there. Like I know that there's people out there, even if I mess up words, that they're still gonna sing along, even if I mess them up. So I just go off the support of the fans, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's honestly still full adrenaline and just supporting one another. Just like, hey, let's just do this and see what happens, you know?
Honestly, it's like, okay, I have the mic in my hand and I have no other option right now. Like, I have to go out there.
There's no
like,
running away. There's no running away from it now, so we might as well just go for it.
They're
So
just chanting your name, like you have to do it.
I think like as soon as we get out there though, this all of it goes away. The nerves go away. It's just like that moment. I think the most nerve-wracking thing for me, I think that's when I start getting like butterflies and like nerves and things like that. It's like the moment right before you go on stage because you literally have no idea what's about to happen, and as soon as you start feeling a vibe for how the show is about to go, then it's easy from there. Yeah.
Now, you guys mentioned this EP is your proudest work, your best work yet. So, did this last tour that you guys went on, did it impact the way that you create your music today, and did it have a big impact on this EP?
To be honest, we had a lot of these songs already done by the time that we went on tour.
Wow.
So like everything that we have that we're releasing now, we've had for like at least a year. Yeah. I think maybe 1 or 2 songs we've had that we added on recently. Like one song we just did last night. Like literally just finishing this weekend is the opening track of the EP.
Yeah.
So you know we have finishing touches, but a lot of the songs like our single Malibu and Senorita and How You Get, all those singles we had for at least a year, and we were showing people on tour like this is the sound that we're going for now. Right. So we've had this preparation for a while. So even when we had like the last project, She's No Angel, like mentally like we were all already like focused on this stuff, but you know that the world hasn't heard it yet. So we were like, you know, we're excited to share it, but we were still focused on getting this new stuff out. So I think after the tour, though, we're like 3 steps ahead, and now we know where to go from here. So, but you enjoy Say It Back for now.
Yeah. I mean, you have to. This is new to everybody, like new to me for sure. So I'm definitely excited about that. But like as you mentioned, like this was a new direction you guys were going to. So, you know, did you guys feel that transition was natural for you guys to go to this new EP, or did you guys feel like you kind of struggled to get to this new EP?
I think it was really easy, just because how Gianni was talking about how the last EP, She's No Angel, is really sad, like sad boy anthems. I mean, we were sad. Like, we were, like, couch hopping for, like, 8 months. We were just getting out of relationships with, like, longtime girlfriends. And with this one, it was, like, we're getting in new relationships. Like, we're finally, like, we're about to go on tour. Like, so I think that definitely helped. It was just easy. Like, we were feeling good. We were feeling happy. So it definitely translated in the studio.
Right.
I think it's all part about growing up, too, and growing your sound, you know? So it's like the music that we were making back in 2013 when no one knew who we were, that is cringy to us now. But in the moment, we thought it was amazing. But it's all about, you know, finding your sound and growing up and leveling up that sound. It's just maturing as an artist. So I think that transition was very smooth for us because that was just like we were ready to move on to that newer, more leveled up sound, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So as you went into the studio to create this EP, is it just the two of you guys working on it? Did you guys have additional producers, like additional, you know, assistants in the EP?
A lot of actually this entire project we were very in-house with our producers. So everyone that we came from Maryland with, our entire team. We have our producers Nikki Quinn, Kojo, and our homie Hollywood JB, who's literally our neighbors. Everyone just comes to this studio, and we made the entire project. And yeah, those are our guys. We write everything together too, except for like, you know, a feature that we have on the project as well. But you know, we do everything in-house. But yeah, that's basically the embodiment of this project is everyone kind of working together that we came up with and making the best music that we can.
Right.
Yeah.
And talk to me about the writing process, especially like from your stuff from Maryland to now. Like how much has being in LA now impacted the way that you guys write your music?
I think the difference with LA and back home in Maryland is just like the accessibility. Yeah. Before in Maryland, we were driving like an hour and a half once a week to get to a studio. Whereas here it's like, we were just telling you, we just drove like 10 minutes, and then we can get here anytime that we want. Right. So it's just able to be like creative all the time. Being able to record anytime you want definitely helps.
Right.
I think it's also about location. I think back in Maryland, there's only so much inspiration that we can draw from just being in the area, just because we weren't around a lot of creative people. You know, in LA, we're, you know, bouncing around with different artists all the time because they're friends of ours. You know, and we're just surrounded by creative people. So That's it's like a love-hate thing being out here, just because, you know, you could be around all these creative people, but you're also around all these creative people, so you need to know like when to stop being creative, because just pushing out so many ideas, you need to know when to stop, and then maybe go to a different location and write, because we had like a writing trip back in March to San Diego, which was great, which we came up with a lot of good records, but we just knew that we had to get away from this area to just find more inspiration and just, you know, get a different vibe for it. So exactly. So it's definitely the best that we're out here, because we, you know, we're surrounded with all these people, but you need to know when to stop and, you know, relocate and, you know, refresh yourself.
But at the same time, like I feel like even being in LA, like it's just hard to focus on your craft and not focus on the party and not focus on like hangouts and not focus, you know, on everything that's going on in this city. How do you guys keep your focus?
We're homebodies. I don't like drinking. I don't like going out. I don't like partying.
We're on the same page here.
I was like, we don't do anything in regards to that. We like staying at home with our cat and my girlfriend as well. And, you know, we stick with our friends because all of our friends are the same. We kind of don't do all that all the time. And, I think it helps us focus on the music and knowing that, you know, this is a business that we're getting into and we're here to work. So, yeah, I don't think we get, you know, clouded by going to parties and doing this and that, because we just don't care. We were never like that to begin with. So, yeah.
Well, it's good that you guys are like have that kind of lifestyle now, because like once these tours get bigger and bigger, like that stuff's just gonna keep coming. Yeah. And I know like there's so many artists that get lost in that stuff because it's their first time or any of that. But you know, it's good that your mindset is where it's at right now. Yeah. So did, you know, this tour with Hoodie Allen, did it like impact you guys in any way? Like either your career, I mean, obviously you said not so much the EP because it was already written, but anything else?
Oh my God, it inspired us to do better. You know what I mean? Like I was like, hey, I want this to be like, I want to be the headliner at some point, you know? Like I don't just want to open, and, you know, we're finally leading into doing our first headline shows ever. We're doing these shows the first time being a headliner, which is crazy. Then we're, you know, leading into a full headline tour in November, which is absurd that we can finally, like, you know, do that. Right. So I think that tour back with Hoodie Allen kind of put us in perspective of like, hey, like I really want to do this, because this is like my favorite thing to do now is perform, because we never really got that opportunity before that tour. It was our first time really in front of a crowd. So I think we just fell in love with performing in general, and we're just excited to grow and build these audiences ourselves and get people in the door, you know?
You mentioned there's a feature on this EP. Like, what did you guys go through to, like, figure out, like, this is the person we want on the EP?
So much. We had a song that wasn't working out for the project, so we were like, all right, let's have, like, this other song that we're doing. And we wanted this dude, he's a homie, Alec King, shout out Alec King. We wanted him on a song for a long time. We're like, all right, why don't we just, like, finally put the pieces together and just do it. Yeah. And when was it? Saturday? This past 2 days ago, we're like, come over and literally right here.
I'm so excited. That's the next guy on my list, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dead serious.
It's like a block away from here.
Yeah. We literally just got off the phone. We just got off the phone with him before we started this interview. We were like, yeah, dude, come over and like let's do it. I wasn't even in town. I was in Minnesota at the time, so he was like kind of like taking charge of that. So he was like, come through, let's do it, blah blah blah. So we cut it, he killed it, and then it ended up being the first track of our project. And it's one of my favorite songs now too. So we finally got the chance to put those pieces together and get Alec on a song, and we're super happy about it. He's been a homie of ours for a long time. So
he's super talented. He's super dope. Yeah, he's super dope.
His writing is stupid. It's like it makes me feel insecure about my writing. You know what I mean? So it's incredible.
Say it back. About to come out our own project. It's all right.
Let's stream Say It Back. Yeah.
So, you know, the collaboration between the two of you, how does that kind of work out, and how did you guys kind of figure out that formula of Gianni and Kyle, like, in the first place?
Dude, over like the past 6 years, right? I mean, it's just like we've known each other since we were 14, really friends with each other since we were like 17, and we're 24 now. So it's like almost anytime we ever made music, it was together. So I mean, we just kind of pick up each other's everything, like how each other's work. Like if I'm struggling, he knows where to pick me up. If he's struggling, I know where to pick him up.
I think a lot of artists that we've run into have kind of brought up the whole like duos and groups never work. Like, why are you guys working? And I think it's kind of figuring out how to compromise with each other. And it's like, he's like my brother at this point. So it's like, I'm not just gonna like ditch my family. People and like, yeah, people think we're literally brothers. People think we're brothers because I think we're just been around each other so much we start looking like each other. But you know, it's like, it's about compromise and like, and you know, figuring out what's best for this business that we've created, you know? So it's not about bickering back and forth. It's figuring out what is best for everyone. So I think we've figured out a good balance of, you know, just maintaining, you know, at least stressful things as possible, and, you know, just figuring out what's best for the group. So
Now, how crazy is it that you guys like moved to LA? You guys were crashing couches, sleeping in studios with other people at the same time, and then now you're here at your own like studio. Like, in how long has that been? It's been only a couple years.
Sometimes I still like look back and be like, who allowed us to do this? It's like it was the same thing with like doing the tour with Hoodie and then now like doing our own shows. I'm like, are you sure? Like, are you sure we're like finally ready to do things like this? And like it's like walking into the industry and like getting like the pass of like, I think I'm gonna get away with this right now. I think they're gonna let us in. So it's shocking. I still I'm super grateful and we take it. We don't take anything for granted. So yeah.
I'm really happy that happened because him and I talk about it all the time. We say like it taught us that we never want to do that again. Like I like having my own bed. Yeah. Like I never want to sleep on a hardwood floor with like 20 other people.
Well, I can't imagine that either. Like when you're in a new place too, like you're trying to figure your future out and then you're kind of stuck in that situation.
Right. And yeah, it was not fun. Those the first year or so coming out to LA, it was just sleeping on hardwood floors and couch hopping and we finally, got enough money basically to finally get our own place. We were super broke. We were broke as a joke at the time, and now we were like, hey, people actually are listening to us now. So thank you everyone for streaming our songs.
What do you guys think like broke you guys? Was it a track? Was it a collaboration you guys did? Was it a writing session you guys did with someone else?
I think it was just consistent putting out music. Like the second song we ever put out, like I know it went on like a viral 50 list on Spotify, but we've never been playlisted. We've never been like anything other than that. And like New Music Friday on like 2 songs. But I think it's just consistently putting out music, and I think it's consistently putting out good music, like quality music. Because maybe if we release 5 songs, we've made 50 songs out of those 5 that are gonna get put out. I think that's really where we succeeded.
I think another thing was not only the consistency of putting out music, and it was good music, just making sure when to say no to certain songs, but it was also interacting with the people that liked the music. Because I think people reach out to us all the time, and we were like going through messages every single day, like hundreds of messages. And now we realize it's time to capitalize on. There's actually something Hoodie Allen taught us. It was time to capitalize on these people, because these are the people that are going to stick with you no matter what. So we want to create relationships and realize that we're just normal people. Like there's no difference between you and I. Like if we're like standing here right now, there's no difference between you and I. So why would not keep these relationships with people? Because these are the people that are basically paying our bills right now. So it's like, why would I think like I'm too cool for school when I could just keep that relationship and make sure that that I'm as normal as it gets.
Well, when we were 16, we wanted all of our favorite like artists to DM us back and stuff. You know what I mean? So
and they never did. By the way, they never did.
Well, now's your chance to actually collaborate with them if they're still around.
It's actually really funny.
I mean, if you guys bring NSYNC back, then we gotta figure something out.
Oh, dude, I love that. I would love that. But it was actually really funny because we recently got verified on Instagram, and now like all the and now,
cool, bro. We're just sending DMs to everyone.
I'm like, yo. As soon as we got like one person, like one big artist to respond, I'm like, oh my god. Like I want to see how who's gonna respond to what. So we just started throwing DMs of all the people we wanted to talk to, and now we're all best friends. Just kidding. No, but they responded though.
Yeah.
It's like we're getting in the works with people. I guess maybe.
That's crazy. Well, I'm disappointed in myself that I've been sleeping on you guys because like I said, if it wasn't for that Hoodie interview a couple weeks ago, like I wouldn't know about you guys until maybe the EP dropping.
It's all good. Just like never let it happen again. You know what I mean?
Not gonna let it happen again. I can't forget about you guys now.
Yeah. Well, appreciate you even coming out, man. It really means a lot. Yeah.
Now, one last thing before the EP drops, like. Are you guys independent? Is this all being done independently?
Yeah, we have our collective of people that we came with from Maryland that kind of make sure that we're safe. But yeah, we do everything independently for right now. But that doesn't mean we're opposed to anything that comes along with. It's just got to be the right deal. So yeah.